Hello everyone, I hope you're having a wonderful day. Today we have a Boy Howdy campaign for you. Our first map is going to be the downtown, followed up by the Hagerstown Turnpike. Before we get into this, thank you to our YouTube members for the support. If you'd like to support, go beneath the video and hit the join button. By doing so, you'll get a live stream of all the broadcasts we do. You can advertise your regiment in the bottom of our videos and get an additional broadcast per week. Our regiments for today, on the CSA side, you have the 6th Arkansas, the Kentucky Outlaws, 7th South Carolina, Stonewall Brigade, 14th Tennessee, 1st South Carolina, 1st North Carolina, 7th Louisiana Archers Brigade, and the 20th Georgia, whereas on the Union side, you got the Zouaves, I'm sorry if I butchered that, 2nd Texas, 4th New Jersey, Midwest Brigade, Irish Volunteer Brigade, Army Northern Virginia, 65th Illinois, 2nd United States Sharpshooters, Eagles Brigade, and the 1st Minnesota. I will note for the first round, they're opposite sides of what is shown here. They will return to the sides as shown here for the second round, though. Server pop for tonight. It is currently 2:45. In balance is 1 in favor of the Union side. Union does not have artillery, but CSA does, and they're not taking any. So in balance is as you see it here. Frontline reporters today representing our Union campaign side, who is on CSA for this round. You got Complex from the IVB. Opposite side of things are CSA campaign representatives, who is on Union. You have Cloud from the Army of Northern Virginia. So with this all being said, let's get to our round of War of Rights. Co-commentating with me today, we have Von Keinberg. Would you like to introduce yourself?
Yeah, glad to be here, Eagle. Von Keinberg, you got it pretty close there. But thank you so much. First Artie Man, DEI hire here for BLN today. Appreciate you letting me come out.
Hey, we're glad to have all the perspectives here. So, with that all being said, in your opinion, how does each side want to play downtown?
Union, this is an easy one if you want to really send this. Just get them to funnel the centers, chew them up, keep the point, and at all costs, do not let them get behind you. And we'll see how they do with that.
Yeah, I mean, you nailed it on the head. A lot of it's going to come down to what CSA wants to do. Ticket imbalance on this map, it's 24% in favor of CSA, as we see with most attackers. That's kind of in that middle range in terms of a ticket advantage. Weapons on this map, the Union defense, they have the 9th Vermont with the option of the Enfield, and they also have the 12th New York Militia with the option of the Springfield 42. So they got buck and ball shotguns, basically, and the Springfield 55, whereas the CSA attack, they have the 2nd South Carolina with the option of the Enfield and the 61, and they have the 5th Alabama with the option of the Mississippi, and I think NCOs have Whitworths, which is fascinating to think about. So, yeah. Of all the maps, you'd want to have a scoped rifle.
Yeah, this is not it. But to your point there, I'm just like I'm with you there. I'm blown away. No artillery on downtown. That might be a big mistake for CSA on the Union side.
CSA starting to push up. I will note they start quick timing at 43, and then they can double quick and sprint at 40, which is why they're charging in now. Now it's past 40 mark, and they're going in on the opposite side of what I thought they would. Trying to claim this stairwell. If they can get a foothold over here, they can kind of force the Union out of this center side of the map, but it's very difficult to hold. You're seeing they're doing a little two-pronged attack here. Some are moving in from the top side, which is out of bounds, and they will actually, for the moment, win it. A lot of Union still holding reserve, though.
Yeah, it looks like for the most part, they've sent their rifle squads to the left-hand side for the map, and they've reserved their buck and ball for further back on the right. So, I don't know. I'd put that buck and ball up in the front. Use that shotgun, man.
I agree. And now they're starting to slowly push in. CSA bring a flag up. Unfortunately for him, he's got to turn right back around. Oh! And there he goes. Not that a flag really matters too much. You have some fighting in the center of the map. With Midwest Brigade and Eagles Brigade starting to push up this side. Archers Brigade, some of them guys are dealing with that. But right now, tickets still fairly even. So regardless of CSA not gaining ground, as long as they keep the tickets kind of even, you'll see sometimes in CSA charge, like they have a moment ago, they'll be way down at tickets. and you can't have that if you're an attacker. But if things are even, things are great.
Yeah, don't let them keep the center though. Like you can't. They're hesitating here. It looks like a little bit, and I would agree. They sort of stacked their left, and it would have made sense for CSA just rush this road and get behind them. I mean, once you're behind them, that's rough territory.
Yep, that's all they need to do.
Up. Yeah.
Doesn't matter how many die, as long as you get back there with those flags, you're fine and dandy. And then you just got to hold a Union charge, assuming they do, which Union is kind of playing this a little conservative. So.
Yeah, they're stacking them. Like I said, they're stacking. It's almost like a box. They're stacking in the middle here. But if the CSA just ran to the backyard, I mean, you're not going to be able to shoot them all down in one road length. It's just not going to happen. So, don't hesitate, boys. Push forward.
Just get your numbers up.
So, if you're CSA already on this map, how do you? Have you played? I assume you've played already on this map at CSA at some point.
Oh God, yes.
I don't know because you're a Union regiment, but what parts of the line do you try to aim for if you are CSA already? Yeah.
Well, the third, I would say, normally likes to get battery French, and even though we're Union, we are more about committing murder on the field than anything, so we love this map in particular. You just move battery French basically down the hill a little bit, you barely need binoculars, and you can see the entire Union line. So you can see that they're stacking behind on this this red brick house where the wagon's at. You can hit that. You can hit the stone wall that they're positioned on. But our favorite of all time is their right flank in the back of this brick building where the little white fence is. Nail that all day long. And the nice thing is for artillery, sometimes you can actually get bounce shots on the ground, kill people there, hit the back of the building, and kill people like it's almost a secondary shot. So you force them to have to reposition and come off the center, and with no CSA, well, no Union already. Let's see how it goes. It'll be interesting.
CSA going in again. They pick up that one down flag. They're getting this stairwell. Union countercharging, which Union not holding this defensive line originally strongly with a lot of their guys is the reason why I think CSA is able to keep this close. CSA is able to pick a part of the Union off before the rest of the Union moves in, and that's really keeping things even. So, but Union in the end does hold. They're down to engage first.
Yeah, I mean, you've heard it here, right? It's a numbers game. I hear it on all of Eagles videos, like, 80 guys versus 40 guys. Doesn't matter what rifle you have. 80 guys win, and they're not winning the numbers game. They're piecemealing their stuff in. So.
Yeah, it's hard to stop a 5th Corps blob, at least in the War Brothers. Whenever you see 8th Connecticut and 1st Maryland, they just get in one big blob. It's like, what, 80 guys, and they just stomp around the map?
It's hard, but, it's just a numbers game. So they can do it here, too. But they're coming in piecemeal here, and that's not going to work for them, especially on the time.
Indeed it is. Generally, at least I think, as an attacker, you want to hit defender down to engage by the 30-minute mark as kind of like a late point, and they're doing great. Obviously, you would expect a lot of casualties on a small map like this, and was a little surprised to see downtown, but, I'll take it. You don't usually see these too often, especially in pubs.
True. I mean, CSA has to be super aggressive on this, and, we're watching this, and it's about a minute and a half gone by, and they're not really doing much of anything but taking pot shots from the corners.
Probably just waiting for guys to spawn in, I would assume. At least nice part for CSA officers, they are in a Steam chat for this event, so everyone's kind of close by each other, so you would think they'd be able to figure things out easier, I would hope.
Yeah.
So.
Well, it looks like they're sending guys up from their back spawn point up the road again, headed east-southeast down the road for the stairwell.
Oh yeah, and it looks like these guys are only going in on their own. It's ANV and EIB. Here comes IVB up the center. I mean, honestly, if Union's not gonna deal with this any better, CSA might as well keep going in on this side. Sure, the backyard's nice, but if this is gonna work, might as well stick to it. Here comes some more CSA as CSA starts to take that. I can't believe CSA of Mississippi's on this map. And now you're starting to see that ticket gap actually go in Union's favor, so not by a whole lot, but
yeah, I think again, you know, 3 sort of independent actions there, right? The stairwell group came down, then kind of followed shortly. Not too bad by the middle group down the road, but then the third group, you know, came 30 seconds or so later down the their left side, and they were able to just shift and sort of defeat them in detail.
So CSA all back up. They're down 2 flags now, which again for this map isn't the worst thing in the world, but if you want to get into that Union backyard area, you're going to need those flags if you're CSA. So 5-minute despawn timer on those, but if CSA charged up, picked them up, they could obviously walk them back 10 feet, I would hope. Yeah, with the amount of guys CSA has, they should just be able to force their way to do that if they want, but
yeah, they just got to get to the protection of this White House and the brick building that's kind of in the middle there, and they'll be solid from there.
So CSA grouping up again. Who would have thought? They've got, it looks like they're trying to do the same thing. They got A and B and EIB kind of sitting up on that backside, waiting to go with the rest of their team. I'm surprised CSA doesn't completely just stacks up and pushes down the same time, because EB and Midwest Brigade keep pushing down the CSA left, kind of going into that center area to just shoot it with the Union. I don't know why they're not charging in as well.
Yeah, I'd agree with that. I mean, I'm looking over here on the right flank of Union, and they're predicting some sort of run down the road, but they haven't done it yet, so we'll see. But they just want to keep coming down the center, then you'll be able to match them probably every time.
And what is 6 Arkansas doing? Oh, here comes the whole Union, actually. Holy crap. Some more Union anyways. 20th Georgia SB's now going in. Why is Union charging this? I mean, we'll see if it works. Very bold from Union here. Trying to catch CSA off guard, potentially. Ticket still maybe slightly in Union's favor. That didn't really change a whole lot, but bring everybody down. Very surprising. Not all the Union went. That interesting. I mean, I can't complain with the result, but my goodness, that's risky.
Yeah, definitely. If they push this right side, it's weak. They could get back there.
And
looks like it's going to be the stairwell again, though.
Yep. And 2 Madres saw it right away, got team killed. And actually, I think 2 Madres team killed. I don't know. Anyways, here comes CSA. CSA about to drop into taking losses here. And flag's trying to be picked up. Oh my goodness.
Here comes IBB down the middle with 65th and 1st.
Jeez, the amount of bodies is insane. It's probably my favorite part about watching these Harper's Ferry downtown maps. At least if you can have those bodies maxed all the way up. Union doing a counter charge, but they're kind of pushing. They're overextending by a little bit, in my opinion. CSA taking losses, Union shortly to follow. Yeah, there's some Union guys going onto that CSA reform area, and that's again, it's very, very risky. Union hits taking losses, and that ticket gap definitely closed up. Both sides hitting taking losses around the same time. So, I guess CSA caught up with that whole action.
No surprise, 8 Union guys running into 30 rebels. What's going to happen there?
So true. Here comes EB
got
and
that
Midwest.
ticket counter even.
File side, Georgia.
Right side. Right.
Oh, they just sent a few guys forward. I don't know why they're sending 8 guys forward like you were about to say, but yeah.
I think sometimes the illusion of downtown is that you have to attack this stairwell just because there's some sort of guarded protection of a stone wall that you have to go that direction. I think the real win here, again, is on CSA getting in the backyards like we mentioned before. Grandma's Cookies is not on the stone wall, boys, there. You don't have to go there.
Yeah. I mean... Yeah, it's fascinating that they're not trying that because, I mean, literally, if they charge back there and get there, as you've been mentioning, it's very, very difficult for Union to throw them off. But on top of that, too, I mean, if Union does charge CSA out and doesn't wipe every single one of them, then CSA can just pick up a flag and start respawning guys in right away. So,
Yep.
I mean, CSA, what they're doing now, they're still in a good spot, especially for what they've done. However, it's not the best spot. So, because, I mean, any one of these charges, if Union holds it decently or better than they have, that ticket gap could grow larger than what we saw a couple minutes ago. So, why is there a CSA flag crouching? 7 seconds they're going. Which, you got this kind of...
It looks like CSA is probably trying to time their charges off the clock here a little bit.
Which is not a bad idea when you're trying to flank. They're actually charging center now. Like hitting that right side of the Union line. And not much success there. CSA top prong finally shows up.
They might get the stairs here.
I'm so sorry. I'm so sorry.
And like you got Union moving out into this center backyard area. I guess on a little fence. CSA trying to move the flags up, but they're just getting shot down by SB who moved there. CSA's trying to make a hold. A lot of Union are just sitting back and kind of getting into a shootout with the CSA, which you definitely should be able to outshoot the flag respawns here, but CSA's got pretty good defenses here. Yeah, they're starting to hold it.
I'm so sorry. Get the flag swords back here.
Maybe.
Yeah.
Going to charge them out.
I think what matters if they come down this. So yeah, they're gonna feed the center again. I don't know about that, but
I've always understood that if someone gets into your flank or behind, you charge them out as a defender. A little surprising to see Union just kind of give up these defensive positions. Like, what CSA is doing, it is, from what I've seen in the past, very, very easy for Union to stop.
27th on me, boys, over here.
yeah, I mean, again, I mean, you can shoot on the stairwell basically from a 45-degree angle back behind this building. They're just gonna keep shooting you down. You're just gonna feed the funnel here with even if your spawn's like 2-3 bikes, it's not gonna matter. You've got to get something where you have distance on them. If they came in this backyard, right, like we're talking about, you can have your spawn point over here, and you're feeding the point, I don't know, 10-second walk, whereas Union's got to run all the way down the road if they lose their flag. So I don't know, center punching here doesn't always work on downtown, but
For some reason, it's working today. CSA's now got a ticket lead. If anything, this just seems like poor Union play. That's letting CSA do this well. I mean, what's the server pop at this point? I mean, we're at 270. Union, I don't think. I mean, if this was a lower pop, like 150 to 200, you could maybe argue at that point, but even then, I don't know. But regardless of that, now, I mean, 270 players, Union should be doing well on this map. Especially for the strategy CS is doing, but oh well. I guess that's why you play the game, right?
that is. It's a different day every day.
They should just do the tabletop and call it a day. That was the campaign for this week. So, Union hit breaking, so if CSA do cap the point, they'll win the game, but I don't think Union's going to back off this line a whole lot unless they start dropping tickets, but if they back off, they're going to lose the game. You can't lose this initial line of Union. The moment you fall back towards your spawn, CSA can kind of take over the whole map relatively quickly.
Sit right here. Here you go, bud.
Sort of an interesting concept here. They've stacked the stairwell so heavily. I don't know if they could push their left flank from CSA without giving up their right flank. They almost have to hold here in the center.
You're my heroes, Brias.
I can imagine CSA trying to charge off the stairs and they're just all stuck on each other. Oh, and I hear prepare for charge from the CSA side, so it looks like they're maybe going to try to finish it now. Although if our CSA would not be yelling it that loud in case the Union guy across the house could hear you.
Yeah, I don't know. They're winning on the tickets here pretty handily. They might want to just keep playing this a little bit.
They definitely could.
Well, here comes Union.
Why is Union countercharging now when CSA has a foothold?
Oh, there's a lot of you guys.
That's what she said.
And CSA are holding that pretty firm so far.
Oh, that's unfortunate.
There's a valiant attempt, but I don't get it. I don't get it. Why did you not do this a couple minutes sooner when CSA only had like 10 guys in this stairwell with 2 flags? Union sat there with like half their team just shooting at them, giving them time to reform, and now they have a full defensive line and can actually hold a charge. This is just it's a kind of confusing play from Union this whole round.
Well, we can say they're not used to being on this side. Maybe
That's
those
true.
blue coats are itchy for those Reb units and making them anxious. But I know you can't pencil line a charge in with 1 or 2 guys. You got to go in mass, otherwise you're bound to lose.
So Union's starting to fall back a little bit. 6 Arkansas is at least backing off from, I don't know, the Union on point, at least to the southwest of point, trying to at least give themselves a little more space.
Watch it, don't get shot, guys. Keep moving, don't get shot. Refill. Keep shooting, Arkansas.
I mean, Union's not going to win this game. I think it's over at this point unless CSA like all F9 or just charge in and don't even try to kill the Union. It's like it's too big at this point, too big of a ticket difference.
Yeah, it's rough. They have done sort of the impossible and camped the middle of the point here right in front of their face, and they are not winning the shootout, so this is looking really bad for Union.
This is this is a little sad to watch, but you know, good job CSA. They stuck with the plan. I mean, there was one point where Union was starting to get a ticket lead, and CSA stuck with the plan, and Union eventually made a mistake, and that ticket gap evened right back out, and Union made some more mistakes, and now that ticket gap has grown even larger. And any second Union's going to hit last stand. At that point, they can't respawn. If you were dead when you hit last stand, you'll respawn in. But why is a Union flag running across no man's land here in between their 2 little pockets?
Well, the bar looks like this for tickets. Why not at this point?
Okay. Yeah, true. True. Nothing kind of
Make
matters
a name
at this
for
point.
yourself, sir. Make a name.
Might as well have fun, right? That's why we're here,
Yeah.
supposedly.
It's Jover, so get crazy.
There was a High Street match. It was like I think 2 months or maybe longer at this point. But High Street, Union got, for those of you who don't know High Street, we're basically fighting on it. I'm looking at the point on my screen, but CSA just rushes down from the top of the hill here. Union has defenses on the stone wall, the stairwell stone wall, but they get thrown off relatively quickly and get stuck in their spawn. And the CSA did this like 10 minutes into the round, shot them down for like 5-10 minutes, and then the Union admin ended the round in the middle of the round because CSA wouldn't cap when Union hit breaking. They were done with it. So that's probably
Can't blame them.
Yeah, you can't. There was a recording of that debrief, and there was a lot of arguing. It was funny though. So, anyways, Union hit last stand. If they die, they don't come back. CSA, seeing that, is gonna go in. CSA will hit final push, which will drop the black timer, but they still have infinite respawns at that point. It's just limited time. This round's pretty much over.
Yeah, I don't know what to tell you, Union. There's no riverboat full of 1,000 men pulling up here on the river, so you're. It's rough. that was tough. Union, all he had to do was nothing. Basically hold the point, and you did nothing and still lost. Kind of crazy.
Yeah, I mean, I think it's just because Union, the moment CSA charged, they did not support that stairway. They let that group get wiped, and then they went in. It just let CSA kind of pick a little bit off the Union. It kept things even enough, and eventually they charged into the CSA respawn point, which was, I mean, the tickets didn't look like they were impacted that much from that, but that caused kind of things to get spread out. Then some CSA charged in, and then more Union overextended, and it got things back even, and eventually Union just lost the stairway. When they should have charged them out. They just didn't even charge CSA out once they took it, so not that great of a round from Union side. CSA did good. Yeah. So, props to them, but a couple of Union guys left. I think you got to kill all but 3 of them, and then the round will finish.
I think we're the last ones alive.
You are indeed some of the last few alive, which CSA is now trying to charge them on and finish it. So,
Disappointing Union. John Brown's body is rolling over here in Harper's Ferry.
We'll see. Hopefully they do a little better of a defense on Hagerstown Turnpike. Remember, the sides are going to swap for next round. Hagerstown should be good, especially with the recent updates. But, I mean, do you got any more thoughts on the round?
You know, I think it's if you're going to just center punch at people, you got to outshoot them. And if you can't do that, then it's over. Otherwise, you know, don't keep your units in reserve like I was seeing here today. It's just not going to work for you. Don't feed tickets to the CSA. You need them to feed them to you.
Exactly. Yeah, this is disappointing. And CSA didn't even do the best strat. And honestly, if they did the backyard strat, it probably would have been a lot more of a disparity between both sides. But regardless, in the end, CSA get the win. And so good on them. Sides are going to swap again. And yeah, we will see you all shortly for our next round, Hagerstown Turnpike. And here we are for the second round. Hagerstown Turnpike, again, for the 10 billionth time, sides have flipped. Server pop is 280. Inbalance is 1 towards the CSA side. And we have artillery on both sides, and they're taking it. CSA have 16. Union has 4. So it's a 12-man infantry imbalance there. So yeah, it's a 8-man infantry imbalance in favor of the Union. I'm sure they'll appreciate that. Imbalance, similar to last round, it's a 24% ticket advantage in favor of the attackers Union. Weapons-wise, Union is the 14th Brooklyn with the Enfield. They also have the 6th Wisconsin with the Lorenz and the Springfield 61. CSA defense, they have the 9th Louisiana with the option of the Springfield 42 and the Springfield 55. And they also have the 1st Louisiana Zouaves with the Springfield 42 and the Mississippi. So yeah, with that being said, what is your opinion on strategy for both sides here?
Yeah. Union has control of the better part of this field here, so they've got the geography. They got rocks over on their left-hand side that they can just sort of pepper them with continuously, and the hill can overlook the point. I think this is a real shoot 'em out match for Union, and just tickle that point when you need to. CSA, use those new rifle mechanics. See if you can even this up a little bit. Hold back, stay alive. Don't let them have the point.
Yeah, I'd agree with what with CSA having buck and ball. I don't know if they're taking it just because of the nature of how open this map is, and with the shootout being more likely. But yeah, Union charging on this map as of late has not really worked. So this might, as you just said, might be a long kind of sit and shoot round. You got the CSA artillery kind of towards the center behind point. You also got some close to the spawn with CSA infantry around that. Union already, meanwhile, they've got a spend a good portion of this match rolling up the guns, and it looks like they're rolling it up to the left side of this right Union hill. So
yeah, Union artillery, I mean, it's great. You can travel the road. It's going to really limit your ability to see anything on the right side of the field here, but when it comes ready for point charges, they can support that. Maybe some better positioning would work. You got a lot of rebels here in the woods you could be looking at, but good to see some artillery this time.
Indeed it is. That I mentioned you a moment ago, but for people watching, I was like, that'd suck if we had you on for your opinion with artillery and we just saw no artillery tonight. That would would be really poor timing.
Well, I play with a lot of these units, so they might have just been like, "Oh, Vaughn's here today, so let's mess with him." No arty today.
And CSA's being pretty aggressive in the wood line. The past couple times I've seen this, CSA has held a defensive line back by their artillery near point. There's a lot of deflates for the CSA there. And, I mean, sure, they have the cover of the woods, and CSA also has some deflate cover in the center, kind of where TKO is at, with some bushes, but a little surprised to see them push up this far. Maybe they're taking buck and ball, though, which is maybe why they want to get a little closer, but as mentioned, actually CSA's taking a lot of Mississippis here, at least with, I think, the Zouaves here. But yeah, normally you'd think this map would be a shootout, which means as CSA you want to play for time, so you want to kind of put your distance between the Union and yourself, not necessarily get up and close and personal with them. So it's a little surprising to see that, but we'll see what happens.
Yeah, I have a very unpopular sort of concept. Like these woods are good, and if Union puts up on this hill here, which in Union we usually call Nipple Hill, when CSA actually backs out down the snake fence, sort of heading to the northwest, and gets sort of aligned with the Union artillery, and you keep that wood line, you can shoot up every inch of this back of this hill too. So it becomes really detrimental to stay on the hill. But it doesn't look like they're pushing. They want to stay on this corner. I'm not sure that's going to work for them.
Yeah, I mean, the thing is, sure, Union's kind of shooting blind in a sense. I mean, CSA's got all the cover, but CSA is generally bunched up, so, I mean, a couple of hits. I mean, we'll see how the tickets kind of drop. They're starting to move down slightly on both sides. But it looks like CSA, for the most part, is staying away from the 42s, just kind of keeping this long shit out. It's actually, there's a lot of Union on the far left. This is probably the most left I've ever seen the Union go. Who do you got here? You got A&V, 1st Minnesota. And then EIB is somehow in bounds for Union. I didn't even realize they can get this far over here. Normally don't see that.
Yeah, it's actually really good positioning. And since we talked a little bit about artillery perspectives, this is the one thing that they have all this beautiful CSA artillery here. The one thing you don't want to see is those goddamn skirmish lines, because that's when Eagle becomes really correct, and you're shooting a skirmish line and you're killing 1 or 2 guys, and it's just not going to do anything in great detail. You're not going to make a move. You're not going to take tickets down enough. So they need to find themselves a position they can hit something in mass.
3 guns just fired on 4th New Jersey on these rocks. The 4th New Jersey kind of in the center of the Union team right now, kind of on Union left, and they just took a lot of fire.
That's where I'd be shooting. They're masked up. Get that jammy jam on the ground with them.
Indeed. Yeah, that's honestly probably the best spot to shoot on this map. So, Union right's kind of spread out a little bit. You got IVB, 2nd U.S. Sharps, EB pushing far. Union right, trying to get better shots in the CSA in the woods. Also just trying to spread out because you got EIB, more of them, and then Midwest kind of in this center right of the Union line on the Nipple Hill, taking shots there. Union just spreading out a little more so they can get more fire. CSA really bunching up onto this corner here. So how often do you communicate with infantry officers on maps? Because at least in my opinion, watching Artie in my opinion would be best used where when infantry is about to go in, which I don't know if we'll see a whole lot on this map just on the way the map is, but when infantry charges in, artillery should shoot right before that. How often is there communication between the infantry and the artillery and stuff like that?
You know, I can't speak for everybody, but I would say for the 3rd U.S., it's limited. We know what we're doing, they know what we're doing, so we don't have a lot of that dialogue. When it comes to coordination before the events, that's when we're really having the chats about, you know, what's the timings, what we're looking for. But, you know, you just, as artillery, you're just looking for what's going to basically shift somebody off of where they're at. Is it going to help you with getting a better you know, sort of hold of the land? Are you able to take the geography towards your side? And at the end of the day, then it's tickets. Like I said, shooting skirmish lines out here where they're all spread out, you take 2 guys, that's not worth a shell for an artillery. Now, 4th New Jersey stepped out into the field here, right?
They just took
in a tight little line, and that's where we go. Thank you so much, boys.
Yeah, it's a little surprising they're in this, especially when, at least, if you look to the southwest of where 4th New Jersey is, 65th is doing it, I would say, okay. But they're spreading out a lot more, kind of in that open order. I'm surprised 4th New Jersey's not doing a similar thing.
I think it comes down to their team concept. This is kind of how they operate, and that might work on certain things, but you got 6 cannons looking at you in a tight clump. Well, they can take 10, 15 tickets off you, and then that's, you know, when Artie really means something.
Right.
Getting on their guns. That's where they're shooting from.
I think kind of a hard thing for artillery too is that, at least for myself, when I watch artillery, I expect big explosions and stuff like that, whereas infantry, I don't expect that, so there's a little more pressure on artillery to actually perform and do well more often. But it's definitely not an easy thing to do. I wish it was more
bastards on the flank,
like what I imagined, but maybe that's not how it was like historically. I wouldn't know.
Well, yeah, I think the thing that's sort of historical about it is, like, right when you have a line and you're hitting it and you see the big red mist and stuff like that, you make sure that the panic, you know, hits the line and like, oh shit, we gotta move. I mean, maybe you don't actually have to move. Like, we've taken down 3 or 4 tickets. Like, that's not a big deal. But if your guys panic, then the officer is going to move you, and now maybe we've gotten that better ground, or we've gotten our flag back, or whatever the case scenario is. So artillery isn't just tickets, but it's also the command of the field, I think, here on War Right. So.
Right.
And that's historical. I mean, shells hitting wood lines and tree branches going all over the place makes people want to get the fudge out of town.
I feel like, though, in War of Rights, since it's not like your actual life, you're just playing a video game, you don't have to worry about it as much per se, and I know there's some officers, like I would officer the same way, where it's like, okay, artillery might hit us, but we'll be fine, we don't need to move. I'll say that consistently throughout the whole match, so I almost wonder if they need to make it a little more powerful. But maybe having small servers isn't great for artillery, and maybe artillery as it is now would work great in, you know, a 500-man server, because there's a lot more bodies to hit. Who knows? It's probably the one thing this game needs. I think top priority is balancing, which apparently that's what the next update's going to be, is ticket balancing for maps.
Which, that tracks.
Which, that's per Trusty's words, the head guy, and we'll see. I assume that means the company tool that they talked about is coming out as well. But, because when they talk about the company tool, they're like, yeah, it's going to track every War of Rights match ever played, which hopefully that means going forward they'll do balance changes more often and more consistently. Like, do slight balance changes every month for a couple of maps, you know? At least, and then alongside that, maybe do like, hey, this is some stuff we worked on this month. You know, I think that'd be a great way to keep us informed about what's going on. I know the devs think very differently, and there's been a fair few arguments between me, them, and then other members of the community, but it'd be nice to see.
Yeah, I mean, that sounds like a good concept. You can't put your trust in Trusty. Who can you put your trust in?
That's so true. So...
Hey, you guys
Yeah, Union's got one gun rolled up to the right side of that nipple hill, and they're starting to push into the little woods. I'm surprised it's not up more on the hill, per se, but maybe they're just trying to...
Well, you got CSA basically on top of the hill, so you just lose your guns when you pull them up on that hill.
Sure, and actually 7th LA is charging here against Midwest. I don't know why they're charging. They got some more guys moving in. TKO's charging in. EIB. You know, for a map where CSA kind of wants to sit back and kill the time, I don't know why they're charging here. Unless they're trying to get a ticket lead, but if you're playing for time, you don't necessarily need to have a ticket lead. It'd be nice, but... I mean, they do win that charge in the end. They don't get any... Oh, maybe not. There's more Midwest guys that showed up out of nowhere.
Get behind these rocks. Actually, we're gonna...
Up here they come off the snake fence. That is not going to go CSA's way.
Should we pull back on the other side of the hill? We're gonna get...
They could take them.
Crossfire,
The 6 of these guys left. They can take them.
They're charging, run away.
Yeah, IBB sweeps the rest of that. CSA hits engage, though, which, I mean, is... Union's keeping things even. That's what you would kind of expect in a shootout. You'd also expect over the long run the attackers to win a shootout. They have a larger pool of tickets, and generally I think there's so many variables going into a shootout, even with the increased accuracy of weapons, that's a 1-to-1 trade in kills, which means a 1-to-1 trade in tickets roughly. So you would expect Union to be up by a little bit in a shootout, but so that's great for Union. Issue though is that time is starting to become an issue for Union, right? 29 minutes engaged.
Yep.
It's okay. They might need to pick up the pace a little bit, but they've got plenty of time. And now you actually have Union moving up near point, being 4th New Jersey and the 65th Illinois. Could get some nice flanking shots here on the CSA if they want to push a little here. Union hits engage.
Yeah, I think this is a good move for Union. You know, they're sort of on the edge of the point here. It's probably going to make CSA really start to put their heads on a swivel. They command the hills on both sides. They could probably push this wood line a little bit if they wanted to, but they can't wait for it if they want to make that move.
Yeah, I mean, Union might be thinking we don't know if they have Springfield 42s, which, I mean, at least with the Zouaves, you can tell who the Zouaves are, especially with their colored uniforms, like the pants being striped and all of that. But, I mean, you should be able to use the binos and see that they've got Mississippis, which are not the best in melee. Really good shooting, but not necessarily in melee. Also, surprised that Union is not capping point. Now, if you're going to try to do a shootout, sometimes you're not going to have enough time. You can cap the point, stop the black timer, force the defenders to come out of a more entrenched area into a more open area and get some nice kills there. Sure, the defenders might regain some tickets because they go up to the percentage of the attacking tickets if they are down. But, I mean, Union's kind of keeping tickets even this whole time, so I don't think really that's a concern.
Yeah, it's a fair concept. I don't know if the units on the field are used to that sort of strategy from working with a lot of these guys, but it's definitely something to think about. It looks like the right flank here, they're just going to try to center punch here.
Yeah, IVB's hitting the center part of the CSA left. They're wiping 20th Georgia out. A little spread out here. You got Union guys, to the northwest. A lot of them just sitting back while IVB's charging in. EIB's charging in as well. 2nd U.S. Sharps and some more. Got a lot of Union moving to point on Union left. I don't know why some Union's sitting out of this charge here.
Yeah, Diggy Wiggy, my good friend, man. Come on. We're not laying cement down here for the patio. Get in the fight.
Yeah, Midwest Brigade and Eagles Brigade are just sitting back shooting at a distance, and Union do lose this charge in the center. Not terribly surprising. Meanwhile, you got charging near point, A and V. They know what's up. They're charging through. Some poor artillerymen there. Not a whole lot of infantry around them. The only infantry is the Stonewall Brigade, and they're backed up by that 2nd line of artillery.
Fire on the guns, fire on the guns.
Okay. 27, 6 minutes, 6 minutes.
It's a good push from A&V, but I'll tell you, I don't want to be sitting here in the middle of all these caissons with artillery overlooking you. It's not gonna be fun.
That shot missed. Unfortunate. You got some more charging from Union. 4th New Jersey and 65th Illinois now charging TKO. Which Union just lost the flag. That's 2 down. And now they're countercharging TKO because they don't want Union getting that flag back. Can't blame them for that. And that's a hold from CSA. I mean, Union's slightly up on tickets right now. And, I mean, they brought everyone down. They're trying to pick up that pace. It's a little unfortunate they lost those flags, but kind of unfortunate, I would say. All those guys that die, they have to spawn at main and run back up to the lines, which can be frustrating. And now you got more charging. 6 Arkansas. Very aggressive defense tonight from these guys. They're charging in the Midwest, who are finally going to get in the melee. Maybe that's what Midwest Brigade was thinking. They're like, 6 Arkansas is going to charge us, so we'll engage in melee at a later time.
EB's coming in behind the snake fence, at least for shots too. That's good.
And that's a lost CSA flag. IVB respawns also getting in there. As you mentioned too, Eagles Brigade's pushing up. You got some tiny CSA groups around the wood line there, popping shots. And Union is going to get back one of those down flags.
I think this is the turning point. If Union really wants to do it, they can wipe out the rest of these guys in the woods and just completely take over this flank, and CSA will never get back to it.
SBRD is not hitting these A&V guys. I know they're not all shooting at them, but the few shots I have seen, they missed. I think part of it too. CSA. Oh, what is CSA doing? Looking for CSA. I think they're running up to pick the flag. They better not charge in here. First North Carolina sharpshooters. They're charging the Yardy. They don't see them on the Nibble Hill. Oh, they just charged in. Got a couple kills. I assume they're going to pick up that flag. They don't pick up the flag, and they just
they leave it.
I guess they got a couple kills, but that's maybe a missed opportunity. Meanwhile, on point, you got Midwest on it, and 2nd U.S. Sharps capping it right now, which they're up a little bit of tickets. I don't know if I were capped if I were Union, but you got TKO, 7th LA pushing up to engage some shots. IVB, EIB putting pressure, and they're actually going to go in. I don't think Union should cap right now. But here we go. We got some charging. They do cap, though. Which it looks like IVB and EB is going to prevail there. Alright, it made sense a couple minutes ago to cap because Union seemed to want to kind of have a shootout with the CSA the whole time. They needed some more time, and so it would have made sense to cap the point. At this point, there's been a lot of charging the past couple minutes. The battle has completely changed. Union's now up by a 4th of a morale stage, something that is really hard to come by on this map. So I don't know why you would cap and give the CSA a chance to regain all these tickets that you've just won. Maybe Union thinks they could hold it. I don't know what they're thinking, per se. But I would not have capped if I were Union.
Those bushes are not friendly.
But maybe they want to keep the charging going. They've been winning it. Maybe they think they can hold it for a while. CSA has not really been acting as a unified force. And sure, it's a longer defensive line, but I mean, you have some groups charging in for CSA. You have some sitting back. They're all spread out in their little pouches. I mean, it's confusing. You got some CSA now, like 5-6 guys charging in on A and V on CSA already. 14 Tennessee's going in by themselves. It's like, fine idea, but as mentioned earlier, numbers are really probably the biggest factor in this game for anything that happens. You can have a great plan, but if you're outnumbered by a lot, it's not really going to matter. It's better to work as a team with a bad plan versus 4 commanders doing their own great plan.
You gotta take the egos out of it and work together as a team. You know, the thing that I would tie out here is it's kind of looking a little bit like downtown. Again, CSA is kind of just, you know, they were on Union for downtown. They're kind of just sitting back, poking and prodding it, which doesn't work for them, and Union's just camping on their doorstep at this point. Like, so maybe just taking that point, not gonna hurt them.
Yeah, for all we know, they could hold it. Honestly, from what we've seen tonight, it wouldn't surprise me at all. But like, if I'm CSA at this point, I have everyone spawn in with the Springfield 42. I spend a minute or two forming up, and I go in.
True.
CSA already
You
just
can't
hit the
let them
ground.
have this ground.
This is one of the easier points, or at least from what I've seen, CSA to retake. I mean, if they come from the wood line, which a lot of them are kind of gathering up, if they rush up to the Union from the west side, I mean, they have defilades that will at least provide them a little cover coming through the open here. But we'll see. I mean, you got some CSA with their RD by their spawn. You got a good chunk of the wood line. But, I mean, we'll see if they can coordinate this.
I think the big missed opportunity here is this this rebel line that's overlooking MWB and A&V. Why have you not gone in with some artillery shots and cleared these guys off this caisson? You're allowing them to really dictate how this field's going to be played.
Yeah, already, I mean, I just saw a shot go all the way into Miller's cornfield from CSA. It's like, those are
Oh
the
my
things
goodness. Did they get that raccoon out there? Is he dead? Hey, we got to find...
There we go!
stuff
Great
perhaps,
shot!
from somewhere, come on.
Good shot there. The thing is, though, is like, I think that Artie should be doing... That shot hit missed. It shot way over. But, like, I think they all need to barrage on that little area and then charge in. It's like...
Totally.
It's like, I don't know
Yeah,
if
you're
I'm
dead
crazy,
right.
but...
You gotta eliminate these guys on this caisson line. Just shoot your stuff repetitively and send the guys in, and get control of the field again. Because right now, Union controls this entire field.
They're charging at 8.
And yeah.
Yeah, it's like sure, you're getting your independent shots as artillery, and even if you get a hit, right, they're gonna respawn within. If you kill like 4 or 5, let's say, on a good shot, they're gonna respawn in 20-25 seconds, which is not a terribly long time. Those 2 shots just went over and missed, although we saw some miss because the shot went through someone. But you got charging here. Look at this. You have CSA now coming out of the woods, and you got CSA charging on the artillery right now on A and B. They both said they would charge at the same time, but one was a lot closer to the point than the other group. So now the CSA first group is completely wiped. We'll see how this second group goes for CSA, who's completely spread out. You have some on Nipple Hill, too, not charging in.
And they're forking out here. One of the woods is going left. They're going right.
Oh, you're dead, Pip. You're dead, Pip.
Wow, this is sad. This is really sad to watch. Oh my goodness. I mean, Archer's Brigade, 20th Georgia. I mean, this just a mix of guys. There's like 7 CSA guys still there. But you got 6 Arkansas up here by Nipple Hill. They're not doing anything. You have the 1st South Carolina, and I think the 1st North Carolina might have been with them. They were just shooting off, doing their own thing. Eagles Brigade charge them out, which they didn't necessarily need to. But this is pathetic. I feel bad, man. What is happening? This is I don't know the last time I've seen a lopsided event like this.
Well, we can definitely take solace that at least the CSA is cutting down the corn with their artillery in the back here. So there'll be some good eating today.
Canister was short. Oh, CSA are getting close. They're sitting behind 4th New Jersey, 6th Arkansas. They're going to get the most beautiful shots. Why are they just charging in? Oh my. Now they're charging in 4th New Jersey. Oh my, this is hurting. CSA hitting breaking, but CSA tickets don't really matter. Because if they're down on tickets, they'll go up to whatever Union's tickets are. If they do retake the point, which I honestly don't think they will. Interesting note, though, is CSA can hit final push because CSA is considered the attacker. And if that gold timer is high enough, the gold timer can drop. You never see that, but it can happen.
Yeah. If I was Union, I would recognize that this left-hand side over here with A&V and basically 2/3 of the entire group here should charge out this CSA artillery, wipe this entire flank, and wrap this shit up, and let's go have some coffee.
Yeah, really. Oh my. Like, seriously, CSA just needs to group up on this big arty, have the arty do a barrage right into the center of the Union. That shot was close, but they maybe got a guy. A couple of these shots have missed recently, but that shot was like, see, that's the crazy thing. That shot was, 5 feet over and didn't get anybody. It might have knocked down a person or two, but you just need to group up on the arty, have the arty do a barrage, and then go.
You heard it here, folks. He's right for the millionth time.
I'm real sorry. I wish, I wish we. Oh, you actually have Union charging. EID's charging out.
This was a waste of your tickets, Blue Boy.
We gotta have you come on a night where we got some decent artillery. Man. I mean, it's not even the arty that's doing bad for CSA. I mean, their infantry is not doing anything, which it's just nothing's going right for CSA right now. Nothing.
Yeah, I mean, I agree with you. The arty can control probably conquest a little bit better than skirmish, where the flagpoles matter the most, and that's obviously not what we're playing here today, but I think it's just an aggressive Union team versus a super passive CSA team.
I'm so glad we did not see Cooks today.
I think CSA's wishing they did see Cooks today, actually. So, yeah, this is we're 10 feet away from spawn capping at this point. for Union.
I mean, based on the way I've seen this, for Union to win Cooks, Union has to play good. Obviously, they can't make mistakes, but CSA has to be passive and be uncoordinated, and this is exactly what we're seeing tonight. Man.
Yeah.
CSA's...
We have CKO moving in.
CSA's doing a mass charge from everywhere. It just... Everything's kind of devolved into nothing. And the Union should just hold this out for the rest of the game.
Yeah, fuck your office.
Yeah, shoot them, shoot them, shoot them.
Sorry. That's always to have the fun.
Do you know if they... I know this is like a campaign, or they're like token holders and stuff like that? If you remember that, or...
There are token holders. Yeah, I don't know whose it is per se
that's
today,
fine.
but
do they lead the team then in the coordination beforehand, I assume?
they generally have the biggest voice at the very least.
Okay.
Yeah.
We're gonna dox these units. We're gonna get them kicked out of the... no.
Yeah.
No. Hey,
I mean, you got to give it to A&V and Killer over here. These guys have been holding these caissons. They're like artillery, but damned, we don't give a shit.
yeah.
20 guys of infantry sitting over there, planking away. Doesn't matter. We're just gonna win it right here on Rebel artillery caissons.
So whoever shot the far right cannon gun.
Indeed. Everyone has their bad days too. Everything happens. So, hopefully, this is a good, at least I think this is... It's a good little learning moment, per se. Already overshot. No! What are these guys? What is Union artillery doing? They're having fun. They're shooting at the... I don't know what they're shooting at, actually. Maybe the few CSA who are on the hill. Oh! The Union artillery just team kill. Oh my goodness.
Team kills are confirmed kills, Eagle, for artillery. So.
Hey, fair enough. CSA mass charging. They hit final push. I don't think the gold timer dropped. It might have. I wasn't looking, but this looks honestly one of the better coordinated charges from CSA today.
Yeah, it's a definitely a coordinated charge. I would suggest to them next time don't charge into the middle of the Union line. Maybe take the ends of it so you can roll it up.
Yeah.
It's not working for you, but hey, good communication on you at least.
And Union held again. Wow. Wow. Any thoughts for this round before we close out our event tonight?
Yeah, I mean, I think it comes down to communication, working together. It didn't look like that happened a lot of times, and I think Union was super aggressive, and it paid off in spades for them. So, good on you, Union.
I mean, yeah, Union played aggressive, but it's, at least for me, Union played good, but this is more of an indictment on CSA play than Union doing great, I think. But, oh well. I mean, they got the 2-0 in the end, and really that's all that matters. Doesn't matter how you get it. It doesn't matter how good or bad your defenders are, you got the wins in the end, and I assume tonight will be very helpful for the Union campaign. So, yeah. I really have nothing more to say on this map. You hit all the points.
Yeah, artillery, don't shoot the corn. Nobody's there.
I can understand missing close, but some of those shots, oh well. But yeah,
Be the patriot. Aim small, miss small.
so true. So with that all being said, thank you all for watching. I hope you're able to enjoy this. Please like, comment, share, and subscribe. If you want to support the channel more, go beneath the video and hit the join button. By doing so, you can get a live stream of all the broadcasts we do. You can advertise your regiment on the bottom of our videos and get an additional broadcast per week. Besides that, though, we have our Discord. We have our Clips channel. We made a second channel for that for numerous reasons, and I can tell you that if you want to ask in a comment. But besides that, appreciate you all. Could not do this without you all. And I hope you all have a wonderful start to your weekend. We'll see you in the next one.